Warning: motorsport is a dangerous activity. The events you're about to see were filmed in a controlled environment under the supervision of professionals. Do not attempt to recreate or reenact anything you see on this show.
We are here at the 2017 Polaris New Zealand NZ1000. I'm Caleb Thompson.
I'm Paul Hand.
And this is Off-Road Addiction.
Ciao, 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 ciao.
Yo!
.30 this morning, we got in our trucks and we've headed down here to the NZ1000.
You woken up yet?
Not really.
So we've made it down, about a 4-hour trip for me, 3 hours for Paul.
Because I'm faster in the patrol.
Yeah, we met up on the way, got some fuel and carried on, and it's a balmy 6 degrees Celsius down here, but not that you could tell by the singlets and shorts we're hanging out in.
It's not raining though?
No, it's not. It was predicted to be heavy rain the whole weekend. We've got temperatures as low as 1 degree Celsius, so it's going to be a bit chilly in the morning. Yeah, looking forward to the event. Today's Friday, we have our time trials today, and tomorrow is race day. Day 1, 500 kilometres, day 2, 500 kilometres.
Qualifying for the race was a short loop course in the forestry behind the pits. There was a bit of a sprint down the gravel, turning around, back tight through the trees. The UTVs were speeding through the tight corners with no problem, while the larger trucks were having trouble negotiating a tight left corner. Most racers were pacing themselves during qualifying to ensure they got a reasonable position on the grid while keeping their vehicles together for the 2 days of racing that followed. It was crucial to keep the steady pace if you want to reach the end. The event has been running since 1993 and is the toughest, fastest endurance race of its kind in New Zealand. While some were gunning for the win, others just wanted to cross that finish line.
It's taken 18 months to put this event together with a lot of planning, a very dedicated committee looking to help and foster the sport in extreme adverse conditions, who look after the safety and well-being of everyone competing.
In the qualifying, the UTVs and Class 1 buggies come out on top, with an average time of 1 minute 20 seconds. Being smaller and more agile, the UTVs had the edge, moving through those tight forestry tracks with ease, while the Class 1 buggies, they've got the speed and also the cutting brakes to help them get around those corners. The top 3 on the grid for race day were all UTVs. Ben Thomason with the fastest time of the day of 1 minute 15 seconds, followed closely by Carl Reutemann in second with a time of 1 minute 21 seconds. Then just a second behind him was Mike Small. There was a mix of UTVs and Class 1 buggies in the start of the grid. It's going to be one crazy start to a race.
I'm Tom, this is Nick. We're from Nowra, New South Wales, 2 hours south of Sydney, and we decided to bring the old patrol over this time to try and finish the Taupo. We've had 4 goes at it, and we finally finished one in the patrol. It's a reliable car, so just a GU patrol with a LS1 in it. She's a pretty reliable old girl. She finishes all the bloody races we enter in it, pretty much.
Next up was the kids in their Kiwi trucks, and they put on a damn good show. They're getting pretty loose in some of those corners, and they don't hold back one bit. These kids are aged between 8 and 14 years old. The younger kids running a 9 horsepower engine with automatic transmission, while the 12 to 14 year olds run a 200cc motorbike engine with a 5-speed manual gearbox. We absolutely love seeing these kids out there getting into this off-road sport. They're just so passionate and they have such a blast out there racing. You can definitely see the competitive juices flowing. Once they get out on the track, these kids haul ass.
Okay, as the sun goes down today, that is the qualifying done and dusted.
Still not any warmer. We've had a pretty good day actually. We've watched the kids out racing. That was awesome to see. Those guys went hard out. We've ended up with, off the top of my head, first to fifth is UTVs, mix of Polaris, Yamaha and Can-Am, I believe, followed closely by some Class 1 buggies. The Class 8s, much further down the pack, tight forestry will do that to the big vehicles, and it certainly gives advantage to the UTVs. So tomorrow we see the start of the 500 kilometre race, and then the following day on Sunday we see the remaining 500, which makes up our 1,000 kilometre race.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. The weather will play a big card in who comes out on top, really, and it might be who can lay the power down, really.
Yeah, it's going to be a battle of driver, co-driver and vehicle. It's all about keeping your vehicle running while maintaining good speed.
To finish first you've got to finish.
That's exactly it. Anyways, time for us to go cook some dinner. We will catch you guys tomorrow. We have had a very long day today. We started at 2 o'clock this morning and it is now 7:15, you know. Makes you feel like an old man when you're saying you're tired at 7 o'clock at night. Has been a very good day. We've set up camp and we're just about to cook up a nice beef stir fry.
I hope it's nice.
I'm cooking, so if you don't see these guys tomorrow, it's my bad.
Because of the hot sauce, probably.
My bad. And if you pass the camera out here, we brought the party to the NZ1000. Thanks to the Auckland Offroad Racing Club, we scored ourselves a tent. Yeah, that's your job. Off-Road Addiction TV is proud to be representing some of the leading brands in the industry. Please make sure you support the guys that support us. Morning everyone, morning. About 5:30 a.m. We're up bright and early. Paul's just cooked us bacon and eggs. He's the boss. We had some pretty crazy rain come down last night, so the track today is going to be absolute mayhem. We're going to skip the start-finish line and we're going to head straight into the track and grab the carnage in there. It's going to be better viewing for us and for you guys. Not as cold as we thought. We thought it was going to be absolutely freezing, but it's quite balmy. Right, we'll keep you guys updated throughout the day.
Hey, I'm Carl Reutemann and this is my YXZ1000. We're here at Taupo for the NZ1000 and we qualified second on Friday, which was a good boost to the confidence after all the work we've been doing on this the last 3 months.
With the race just about to start, the weather was definitely against us, with a massive downpour of rain that didn't let up for the entire first day of racing. Needless to say, there were some very cold, wet and miserable races at the end of the day. With the weather conditions continuing throughout the entire first day, it made the track very slippery, and with over 80 vehicles doing multiple laps around the track, it wasn't long before there were some massive ruts, muddy bogs, and racers were having to fight their way through it all. With the racers going flat out down the straights, at times hitting up to 200 kilometers an hour, they were having to brake with absolute precision to get down through the tight, loose, slippery corners. With all the competitive chaos on the track, it was plain to see that Ben Thomason was gunning for a win to defend his 2015 title. By the end of day one, some racers were borderline hypothermic from the wind and the rain, the cold temperatures, and not having a windscreen to protect them from the elements.
Yeah, I was cold yesterday too. That was one of my main issues. I wasn't quite warm enough and thought I was going to have to come in for a while to change drivers, but yeah, managed to just keep that enough heat to keep going. Sunday here right now, race day, so we qualified on Friday, pole position, which was great. Then race first day yesterday, got away to a good start, had a few issues. Anyway, yeah, stayed there. We won the day by 22 odd minutes, I think, so that's great. Weather was treacherous, track was rough, wet all day. Yeah, it was very hard driving conditions.
Once the races were warmed up and dry, it was time for a tune-up and running repairs for the second day of racing. The weather looked like it was going to improve and everyone had their fingers crossed, hoping for a much drier day tomorrow.
I'm Tyler Castle. I race a Class 5 off-road buggy running a Suzuki G13 twin cam motor. Pretty hard conditions yesterday, wasn't easy all day, rained all day, all morning pretty much. Made it hard for everybody.
I'm Darren Neely. This is my road legal Nissan Terrano, obviously. Turboed Nissan V8 in it. Seems to be going pretty well. A little bit of bad luck yesterday with punches. Same wheel, so I'm guessing we hit something out there. One of those, the joys of off-road racing.
With the conditions being so harsh on the first day of racing, everyone was hoping for a bit of a break in the weather, and it was looking good. Racers were doing their last minute tune-ups and getting lined up for the start of the second day of racing.
We're just double checking all the nitrogen pressures because without this pressure in here the oil foams up and then the shock stop working. So with how rough it is out there, that's pretty critical. Yesterday was a bit of a mixed bag. Truck was going really well, really happy with it, but bit of bad luck with a couple of punches, so we end up with 12 laps finished. Today, well, we've heard rumours that there's snow on the track, so hopefully we don't have to go out there and have a look at it.
We've got another 500 k's today. Clearer weather, but cold, rain predicted for later, so got to thank my team heaps. They've done so much work to get us back out there. I mean, yeah, the car took a hammering yesterday in the weather, so it's all good now. So we'll go out now, line up again and try and keep it together for another 500 k's.
With the track already cut up from the first day of racing, the second day was bound to have some carnage. There are a few corners that have been cut up so badly they had just muddy, slippery bogs and a slick track. The range of terrains throughout the track really putting these racers and their vehicles to the ultimate test to see if they can get them through in one piece. There was some getting airtime, getting loose around the corners, smashing the skinny pedal, but some, trackside, getting repairs. Unfortunately, the bad weather started to come back in from about midday. Due to the cold temperatures, the rain was starting to turn to ice. Luckily, learning from the first day of racing, a lot of the racers had wrapped themselves up warm. It's easy to say, having a windshield was definitely an advantage to protect you from those elements. With the last laps looming, racers are pushing hard for that finish line and to get as far up the grid as possible. As for the front runners, the pressure is now on to keep up the pace and secure the podium positions.
Off-Road Addiction TV is proud to be representing some of the leading brands in the industry. Please make sure you support the guys that support us.
With the rain and cold settling in for the afternoon, racers are battling hard to get those final laps under their belt and cross the finish line. It was so cold that it snowed on parts of the track, yet sunny in the pits. Talk about 4 seasons in one day. With the cold weather and snow making a huge impact on the racer's safety, the race was called that afternoon, with racers still needing to complete laps. Luckily for Ben, he was on his final lap, managing to cross that finish line, taking out the #1 title of the Polaris NZ1000 champion.
Congratulations, Ben! Thanks, mate! Well done, mate, well deserved! Thank you!
Now the weather comes right, eh?
Somebody's framed down some Motomuck quick, like.
Yeah. Finally finished the Polaris NZ1000. Yeah, managed to stay in front. It was a good day. Good day actually. Went completely to plan. Yeah, let out. Went at the pace I want. Then Carl Reutemann come up behind me, wanted to go a bit quicker, so I let him go and realised I had a fair bit of time on him, and then yeah, just drove to the conditions in my vehicle and bring it home. Stoked. Yeah, big thanks to Polaris for the vehicle. I can't believe it handled that. It was getting a beating. It was really rugged, and when you can't see the holes, and you just seem to end up in every big one that you're trying to avoid. So yeah, thanks to my whole team. Huge effort this weekend. Yeah, so much goes into it. Driving's probably the easiest part. So yeah, thanks to Polaris and my whole team.
G'day, hey, I'm Nathan Moore. I'm racing a RZR Turbo, the New Zealand 1000, and just finished day 2. Fantastic feeling. Track was pretty chopped up and pretty slick in places, but it was a hell of a ride.
It wasn't long before more racers were crossing the finish line, making their way to the pits, warming up and seeing where they ranked on the scoreboard. There are broken vehicles scattered throughout the pits, including a UTV missing a wheel. The pit lane turns into a village at this event, with racers from all over New Zealand and even a team from Australia. They all come together like one big race family, and it is such an awesome thing to be a part of.
Coming over here was something we've been planning and prepping for about 8 months, and everything's gone to plan. We finished the event and we're pretty happy with it, eh?
It's a slippery old track though.
Yeah, she's pretty muddy. We've never raced in snow before, so that was the first. So we've had every sort of conditions possible, really, eh?
Carnage,
Sun,
absolute
snow,
carnage out there.
Yeah, we were dragging buggies out of the way, all sorts of things. It was full on and it was awesome. I just want to,
It's fun.
Couldn't have done it without my old boy butt. So big thanks to Rolly, my dad. So it's awesome. Awesome to come here and finally finish one, eh?
You can see the determination and competitive spirit coming out in all these races, especially between Ben Thomason and Carl Reutemann. These two are in a constant battle for the top position and have certainly made a race a lot more enjoyable for both them and the spectators. It is no fun being up front if there's no one there to keep you pushing and keep you on your toes.
So we've just completed the race. We've had such a great weekend here. Saturday we had such a great time battling with Ben pretty much the whole way. We led pretty much the first 8 laps until we got caught up in traffic and blocked the radiator up, so we just had overheating issues from then on. And then Sunday we had nothing to lose really. We were half an hour behind Ben, so we just had to really push it and had the best time here. It's so much fun, the roads are so fast, it's just flowing. It's awesome. Yeah, I'd definitely do this event again.
Cars have this morning started in rain, driven through sleet, into snow, with extreme road conditions out there, really testing crews and obviously drivers. It's come to an awesome conclusion. We had no serious issues, no health issues. Everything went wonderful as far as health and safety went. Everything went to plan. We are awaiting at this stage Tail End Charlie to fight his way through the snow at the top of the hill. When we have the marshals out there, the drivers out there, we would have 300 people in the forest. The logistics of looking after those 300 people all comes down to a well-oiled, well-looked after, well-managed team of dedicated people who are out there to look after the safety and well-being of everyone competing.
Well, that's us.
We smashed it.
We nailed it.
Weekend.
They called the race, which was a fantastic call. Big tree down on the track, a bit of a slip, and it was just getting dangerous.
No, we've had a fantastic weekend out there. The racetrack today went from sunshine to rain to snow, sleet. It's snowing! That's pretty crazy. Good race, well run, no injuries. So time to kick back, get the energy levels up. Then we've got a 4-hour drive to get home. Yesterday, sort of wrapped up the day, all of us were wet to the bone, like near on hypothermic, very, very cold yesterday. We've had a wicked weekend camping. We've literally been living out of our REDARC gear over here. We've got 77%, 28 days until flat, because it's off at the moment. But we've literally come back, we've been running our lights, we've been charging all our cameras, the drones, the radios, the whole 9 yards. We've literally been living out the back of it. We chucked the solar panel on it yesterday, so we actually were pulling, even in an overcast day, we were pulling good power. We were getting about 16 volts out of the solar blanket with sun on and off on an overcast day. So hugely impressed with how good this REDARC gear is. We've been in this Colorado all weekend, absolutely hell for leather, and we're all quite impressed with how well this machine goes, to be perfectly honest. Good weekend. Now it's over, now we're going to start packing up, getting ready to hit the road for the 4-hour trek back to Auckland, and we shall live to see another day at the racetrack.
Coming up in the next episode, we go camping at Potu and we drag the Polarises up there for a bit of fun in the sun and getting down in the sand.
was real, but
That
you
was
just missed
cool.
a whole lot. Cool, so Shay just missed all the bloopers, so sorry, nothing funny for you guys in this episode.
But
yeah. Right, anyways.
anyway,
I'm not crying, I'm not upset, just apparently the cold air makes my eyes. That's right, they can go in the credits.
bloopers. Bloop, bloop, bloop.
Alright.
Banger.
Zip. Correct.
Hang on.
I just trimmed mine this
My
morning.
moustache is in my mouth.
I trimmed
What
mine
is
this morning,
that?
so I mean nuts. Poo?
That just came out of my mouth.
Feces.
Feces.
That's give out of episode.
Fecal impaction.
I drove. Oh, Transformers!
More than me.
I drove here. Do I need a transponder?